Hello, Year 9. I just thought I would show you some different ways of creating fonts for your Font Week 3 project. So what I would probably look at starting to do is drawing out some basic letters. You've been asked to write the word pollution, so I would maybe draw out a P in pencil, okay, or maybe an L if you want to do. So just pick out some letters that you would like to work with. I'm going to do a capital N, so I'm going to do quite a chunky sort of bold N. It's up to you. You can do a lowercase one if you want to do. And then once you've done that, you can have it quite light. You can then start to play around with the different things. Now I'm going to have a look at the word P for my pollution, and I'm going to turn it into something a little bit sort of oily, so it looks a little bit horrible, and then maybe the oil is poured out of it, and it's creating quite a horrible effect. So that may be symbolising sort of oil and dirt and filth that's going into the sea. The other one I thought I might do is maybe turn my L into a straw, because that's something that happens. So I can play around with the top of it if I want. I may actually curve my L because it's not a straight straw. So I can change what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if you go over your lines, because this is just almost you practicing. And then I might decide to do some sort of creases in my straw as it bends, okay, just to give that effect. And then my N, I may decide I'm actually going to make it a bit wobbly and a bit wavy, so it maybe represents the sea. So it's not too straight and rigid, it's a little bit wobbly and wavy like that. Okay, so I would have around playing with that first, and play around with your letters, draw them lightly, and then you can adapt them and change them. You can even do the same with your research if you go on DaFont and try and get some other examples there. So you need to do approximately probably times 5 different ways of doing pollution. So you might want to do a few more. And then you need to then start to write the word. So you can practice if you want, but I'm going to start by going for it. Okay, so I'm going to do my P again. So now hopefully I should know what I'm doing. I'm going to add my drips to it, just like I've done before. And if you want to modify and change it and adapt it as you're going on, that's absolutely fine. And then my ink or my oil is going to roll down. And I'm going to obviously do my O now, so I'm going to do it underneath of there. Something a little bit smaller so it all fits in. And again, so I'm using that same technique. I'm not changing things, I'm adding it on. Now, add my L on there. I'm going to change my L slightly. I'm going to turn it into a chimney, because it could represent a chimney sort of pumping out horrible fumes, which might affect the environment in different ways. Okay, and then I might then go back onto my sort of L there, and I might then do the same, so it's pumping out lots of fumes. Okay, but this one might have some oil pouring out of it. Okay, so that's my sort of pollution word there. I'm going to use my straw one, so then I'm going to go underneath and go across. So I'm going to split my P into two bits here. So my straw there, okay, is on the bottom, if you can see. And I'm going to add another straw for the curved area of my P. So I'm being quite creative with my straws. I'm splitting it up a little bit, and then I might do my creases in there. And I'm doing it a lot quicker than maybe needs be, so you can take your time with this a little bit more, and if you make mistakes you can rub them out. Now my O, I might have it not a complete straw, but one that comes all the way around, so you can still see it's an O, but it joins at the top. And I might just then shade, even maybe shade in some bits. And then my L is going to be, again, easy. I can do that as a nice curvy straw, because I practiced that on my top one there. So I can have a go at adding more on there. And then again, my sort of creases in my straw to give it that effect. And if I want to be able, I can actually have those sort of folds in there. So I can write the word pollution. Obviously, try and get the sizing right. I've done it bigger so you can see. And then another one, I think my watery one, which I'd shown before. I'm going to start by I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to the dark with it being quite wavy and sea-like anyway. So my P, I'm going to have little bubbles maybe coming out the top if I want to do. My O is going to be a little bit rounder. Again, little bubbles coming off. And my curvy L. It's even sort of seaweed-like, isn't it, a little bit? And then my other L might just sit over the top. You've still got to be able to read the letters, so don't sort of be too illustrative with them, because you need to be able to see what's going on, and then you can carry that on. If you want to add bits on, so you could even do as if they're on the floor, it looks like water, it could even look like seaweed as well, so you can start to change and adapt it. Okay, so 5 different ways of doing it. I've gone very quickly. If you want, you can add some colours, so you can get some pencil crayons, and if you're doing blues and things like that for the sea, you can add those colours in and shade them as you want. Okay, so you can start to work on that, start to add some colours. You could have to use one, you can use different blues and turquoises to try and get some really nice effects to your lettering. Okay, if you want to do stripes on your straws, you can add and you can work them in as well. Okay, and if you want, finally, if you have got sort of one of these sort of darker pens, if you want, once you're happy with it, you can go over your lines to strengthen them and make them a little bit stronger, more like a font that you might want to use on some of your posters. Okay, excellent.